Would you rather have a prostate exam or give one?
Probably get one.
At least
Do I know who's giving me the prostate exam?
Nah, I feel like it's even scarier when you don't know them. Like they're wearing a mask and shit.
Well, you got to get one done eventually, mate.
Yeah, I know, eventually. But that's not now.
You could say it's like a health thing. You're just getting a checkup. You know,
Just getting a checkup, mate.
Nah.
If you're given it,
I know too many of my friends
You're not
that
a
will not
doctor.
be a proactive. That'll not be a health checkup.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, go get your prostate checked. The health check, you know, whole water check. Check.
Can't they just do it with a blood test these days?
I don't know. I don't see doctors. I'm dying.
You gotta go see. I just got my bloods done, eh? I was like, shit, better start getting everything checked out, man. You gotta know what your norm is. You gotta know what baseline is.
To be fair, that's probably true because, like, we're of Maori descent, and you know we don't have good health records.
Fuck, actually, I'm gonna go get a blood test done. What, tomorrow, Friday, something like that.
Make sure you get it done. All your levels are right. Normal range.
Well, there you go, Fano. I've been putting off seeing a doctor for I haven't seen one since I was in Dunedin.
Bro, get your ass to the doctors.
And the only reason I see them was to get a sick note to not go to work.
Hey.
Oh,
anyway, Mori ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to the practice run. Your frontline pass of the hardest sports nation, brought to you by who? By 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your hosts, Sam Tarangi, Tukoerangi, and me, Rawuri. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and Rugby League today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, from the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because every practice run takes us one step closer to glory. The practice squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
We'd also like to give a shout out to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
Mori ore te whānau, today's lineup, man, we got some big things planned. So we are giving our iterations of what we think would be not necessarily the best lineup, but a lineup that we think would be competitive for one of the three international teams that are playing in the Cup, the Pacific Cup Championship. There's a plate and a cup. We're doing the cup, the top tier teams. We might do the plate, but I don't know many of those players, so GG's. So we're going to go through there. We're going to analyze all three of our teams. Tukoerangi has Matematanga. Sam has Aotearoa, our New Zealand Kiwis. And I have Te Pāpaka a Maui, a.k.a. Australia, a.k.a. the Kangaroos. Are they the Kangaroos or the Wallabies? The Wallabies play rugby, eh?
Yeah.
There we go.
The Kangaroos.
I'm also adjusting my light. I forgot to turn my light on before we kick things off. So I'm adjusting right now. Talk y'all through that. Just extra light. There we go. That looks more consistent. So we'll dive into those three teams. Then we will. What will we do after that? We will have a revised edition of the weekend's preview, brought to you by Two, I do believe. So Two will run us through that once we get to that segment, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will round out the night with some big plays and paydays. But before we get there, we always start the episode off with a little bit of paper, scissor, rock. I failed to get the job done on Tuesday. Next man up, it is 2 versus Sam. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, winners win, losers lose. We start the episode the same way every day. So paper beats a rock, rock beats a scissor, and a scissor beats a paper. So that's it. 1, 2, 3, shoot. On you, Sam. You call it.
I don't know. 2 seems like he's ready for this one.
I've kind of made up my mind. I'm not
I've
joking.
been seeing this guy the whole time talking about it. All right.
Go check out the
3,
video,
eh?
ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And up.
Oh,
Hey.
don't have any. Oh.
Both went scissors.
Hey. All right. You ready?
No, I'm not.
Too bad. All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And up.
I don't like this one at all. I don't like that at all. I don't have it. I put it all on one. I went to the second one. I wasn't there.
Yeah. Arch. Ooh. Fun fact. So we lost one American listener, but we still retained our German listener. We've got 1 from the UK, and we still have 3 from China and 1 from Russia. So random, but yeah. I don't know what we did in that episode from the other week, but Fano, we need you to stay with us. Bear with us. We're going through growing pains, but I promise you, there's a promised land coming, ladies and gentlemen, and we will guide you there. We will be your shepherd through the darkness. We will guide you into the light as we reach the promised land, as we try and get to the big dance at the end of this season. But don't even worry. If you think NRL is all we talk about, check your Rear Vision mirror, baby, because we do more than just that, and you'll find out in the off season. But anyway, I have a question. I have a question for both of you. Let's dive into a couple of questions. Some a little bit food based, and then a little bit just random at the end. So first one, what is your go-to? Are you Hangi or you're boil up?
I can kick this one off. I am Hangi all day. Main reason being is, I don't know, boil up. It's a bit 50-50. Although Hangi at times can be 50-50. I just feel Hangi is just, I don't know, got more memories with it, I guess. And that just reminds me of like whānau. And normally if I'm having a Hangi, I'm celebrating something, whether it's at home on the marae. So yeah, I guess just the memories associated with Hangi.
What about those lazy koanga fundraisers, the old 15 buck Hangi?
Yes, and that's the other part of Hangi, right? It always invokes like some sort of fundraising because that's normally what you're having. Yeah. $15 Hangi, $20 get you the pudding, Yeah,
geez,
get you the steamed pudding.
I like that answer. What about you, brother Sam?
Nah, I'm team boil up, just, man, way easier. Way easier, and it's, well, honestly, I make a boil up, maybe once every 2 weeks? So, that's a relative staple in my diet.
So, fucking, when we were at Cumby, they had like a Kiwiana themed dinner. And one of the options was like fishing chips. The other option was like Hangi, and then it had like boil up as like a third option. Now, something in my head told me, you know what, you should just have takeaways for dinner tonight and not have this food because I have a feeling they're gonna fuck it up or do something. Bro, they're what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, stuffing, bro. They're stuffing. He put it on like, I don't know, it looked like it was like a slice of like cake or something. Like how they did it was just like laid out on a sheet and like cut into like slices. I was throwing that
Was it
shit.
not like a
I don't know. But that shit pissed me off. And then come to the Hangi, I was like, oh, this is wasting my time. But I got the boil up. This is the first time I've ever had boil up where it was like a broth. I think it was like a chicken broth or something. Fuck, it threw me, eh? I took one taste and I was like, nah, fuck, I knew I shouldn't have had this dinner, but I knew they were going to muck it up.
Yeah.
Bruh. I understand because it was like, oh, you must be looking forward to the Hangi. I was like, oh, yeah, fuck, shut up. Yeah, I knew it. So I was like, I knew to just not have it. Fucking hell.
I was the same. I was a gun that year.
Shit pissed me
Subway.
off.
Subway was like 2 blocks away. I saw it boil up. Oh, you've got my attention now. It's not tortellini. It's not curry. It's boil up. We're on. Nah,
Did
regrets.
you have a doughboy?
No.
Hey.
Fucking,
I'll
that
tell
was
you.
terrible.
Urta. Oh, look, I'm with you, Sam. I am team boil up just because, hey, you can put anything in that motherfucker. You broke,
Facts.
bro. Go down the shop, grab some sausages and a cabbage. Don't even have to be a whole cabbage. You can get a half a cabbage or a quarter cabbage, and we away. Couple of potatoes and a doughboy is just like flour, salt, and water, and you throw that thing in. Those are minimal costly ingredients. You know how much a freaking pig and a couple of chickens, a leg of lamb, wild mutton, a sack of potatoes, sack of kumara, sack of pumpkin, about 6 bags of stuffing, which is about 10 loaves of bread, plus the pudding. Brother, I'm already $600 in debt.
Yeah, it's why you gotta sell them for $15, man.
And then that's not just something you can like graze on. Like, yes, there's always heaps left over, but that shit lasts like 3, 4, 5 days. With a boil up, that's done in about 2.5.
Yeah.
Because when you got that thing going, had a few in the way pedal come in, and then bit of a pick, put you up a bowl, boom, no fork at this point, brother, because we're on a level. And then the kids always come out, oh, Neff, fuck, grab uncle a drink in the fridge, boy. Yeah, shot. And then you become the uncle that you used to do that for. But I do love me a good hangi though. I won't shun a hangi. However, when it comes to either or, I'm going for boil up. So here's the second part of this question for you, Whānau, is so we're at a hakari. We'll say it's Nanny's 50th, 60th, or however old Nanny gets. How are we filling up the plate, brothers? What's on the table, and how are we filling up the plates?
Jeez, well, I mean, depends what's there, but if everything's there,
Yeah, everything's there, brother. How are we filling up the plates?
it's a good one. Well, one, you got to get multiple plates, right? You got to get one for like just the protein, you know. Got to get a couple of,
one plate on the knee, one in the hands.
Yep, you know, stock standard. One's for the protein, the other one's for the salads. You know, got to get the potato salad on there. Hopefully, there's chop suey stuck on there. Now, I'm not really a seafood lover like others, so there won't be raw fish or cream power on my plate. But you know, everyone else likes it. They got to be
shout
fried
out to
bread.
those blended whānau, the ones where we get some of the Polynesian married into the whānau, and they bring their potato salads. You know that red one now? On.
Oh yeah. Give me the fry bread. And then on a protein side, got to get the chicken. Hopefully some steak. There's always some patties and a couple of sausage roll just to round it out. Some potato, you know. That's pretty much. We're ready to go.
Budget little drinks here.
Got to be the budget drinks. I'm going for grape every time. You know, grape or raspberry.
Yeah.
I don't want that Coke. Their Coke's trash.
You
know.
okay.
Ain't gotta sip by where the lollies are, you know, where the stack of lollies, get half of that, put one pile into the pocket, go sip by the other one. Yeah, man. That's how we're rolling. Oh no, I lied. You get those plates, but before you get those plates, you go reverse. I go reverse.
Pudding first.
Yeah. So I've got the
always.
plate for the pudding first. Get that. I'm hitting the pav. If it's Nans, then she's made it clear, so I'm getting the Nans the clears. That's on the plate. The ambrosia, that gets like its own cup of ambrosia. That's on it. And then what's the last one? If the sister's made a banoffee pie, that takes about half of the dessert plate.
Yeah, flesh.
So it's like there. So you got the dessert plate over there, you got the protein plate, the salad plate, and then we're good to go.
A flesh dessert table. I'm used to the old fruit salad, ambrosia, and trifle.
Yeah,
and maybe
Oh, I
ice
can't-
cream. That's
Can't
it.
stand trifle. I can't do it.
it's trifle, it's jelly, and it's biscuits.
Yeah, there's
maybe,
eclairs, the spaghetti
maybe
pie.
some ice
Yeah.
cream if you're lucky.
Oh yeah, it's the maybe on the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what the
I feel
sisters
like
are
me and
known
Sam, we've
for
been to
that.
the same Hakari.
Bro, what's this?
We
That's
need to go
over
with
there. That's the
two,
Nan
bro.
special. The Nan special. That you got to be quick with the eclairs because they never last. That's why you got to go reverse order. If you go straight to the protein first, the eclairs won't make it to you. You know, she only makes like 30 of them, so first and first serve. Eh?
That's us, Sam. That's Hakari with two. We're going.
First and first serve,
I
mate.
want to go to a one that has a mean dessert too. I'm sick of and trifle with the jelly and the fruit salad
Fuck,
with like
dude.
3 cherries in it that all the kids already ate. What about you, Sam? How are you filling up that plate at the Hakari? Take some of Two's eclairs out. I know he would have took too many as well, so you can take some off of his plate.
Wow, tell him, man, hey, over there. Thank you. Nah, it's protein. It's protein, potatoes, and I'm not gonna lie. If there's some cabbage there, I'm taking the cabbage. But other than that, potato salad, yeah, you can come over here. You put eggs in that potato salad, you stay there. The moment those eggs get anywhere near that potato salad, funky. You stay there. Nah, that's Handi's protein. I can't lie.
I can't do cold potatoes. I can't do cold potatoes. It's a weird concept to me. I've got like this thing where like hot food has to be hot and cold food has to be hot. Cold, sorry. I can't eat cold food on a cold day. Can't eat hot food on a hot day, and my food can't be touching. It's weird.
Oh no,
Yes,
I'm the king
I
of
do.
yeah, all on one. You might look at me weird, but all on one.
I can't. I got a seafood plate, and like there's kind of a divide. Can't have my raw fish leaking into my cream pile. It's got a chuck of fry bread there to like separate them.
Yeah, that's why you do the cups. You know, you do the cup of raw fish and the cup of power. Good to go.
Yeah. I need to do that. Need to do that in the future. I'm getting like crayfish. If there's a crayfish there, same as you out the supasui.
Yeah, man.
A little bit of the glazed hams that come out if it's like a Christmas hakari,
Yeah.
sort of that season. Then yeah, get me some of that pork out the hangi. Get me some of that, a little bit of the chicken. I don't like if it's too dry though. If it's too dry and I got to drink half my drink to get through the chicken. Oh gee, that's going to the dog. Yeah, have this. Yeah, I do like a bit of the meat patties, but I don't like those thin little ones that you get at the supermarket. You know, the 20 pack from Pack and Save in the frozen section. Nah, I can't do that. And I can't do those boxed ones. I need like premium, the ones that's like 50% brisket, 50% mince.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've got a
homemade. I feel always wins.
Oh,
you know, because I'm the same too. If it's like those skinny little ones, like I'm eating that last. If it makes it on the plate,
it's going to the kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's not making it to the plate. It's not making it to my plate. I see that. Somebody else.
I'm good for skipping vegetables. I'm good to skip those. I call it. I'll have a juice, and there's my health, and I'm skipping the salads. Maybe I'll get like the what's the one, balsamic vinegar salad. I'll have that. But I've got a seafood on the plate. I've got the beefs. I've got the potatoes and the kumara, the stuffing, the pumpkin. What else is there? Then yeah, when it comes to dessert, I want that steam pudding with the custard. Load me up on that custard. Double down on the custard. Shucks, I'll have a bowl of custard on the side just for good reason. I love me some custard, brothers. And then what else is normally there? Yeah, yeet to the trifle, yeet to the ambrosia. If there's a bit of pav there, slice me up a bit of pav. Some of Two's and Nan's eclairs. We'll chuck some of those on.
Oh, bro. They're famous, those eclairs. Her eclairs are fucking famous, man.
What else? What else is normally good at the Hakari? I'm trying to think of another one, but the last time I went to a Hakari was just because it was for Tonga, so I'm like, fuck, what else was there? The lollies is always good. Oh, fry bread, gotta have fry bread. The air one bread, gotta have that. I hate raisins in a steamed pudding. If you put raisins in a steamed pudding, I will smack you back to colonization. That's weird. Why would you do it? Although, game changer, coming close. Chocolate chips in your steamed pudding, G. Bit different, but I vibed it, brother. I vibed it. I was like, oh, different, but I'm here for it. But it's not just those regular chocolate chips that you buy at the thing. They just literally yeeted up some freaking, what do you call them? Whitakers. Miraka kirimi.
We can chat.
I
was against it. We can chat.
See.
Well, so
And
that's
then-
gonna set people up for future. Like they'll see it and be like, "Oh, there must be chocolate chips. Buy it at raisin." Raisin. PTSD from then on out. Nah, can't be trusted. Steam pudding can't be trusted. Mm.
Bro, probably, man.
Nah.
Probably. And then from then on, just they'll question everything. You know,
Yeah,
those
they
people
will. They will.
They're those ones
Oh,
in the lecture theatre that you got like 5 minutes to go before 10:2, and they ask that long ass question. Oh, so what about this? And then the fucking lecturer just waffles. And you're like, brother, I gotta get, bruh.
Yeah.
That's one of those. That's what breeds that, G. But yeah, that's how I'm filling my plate, and I'm probably not even eating it all. Half of it's still gonna be on the plate. I'm not gonna lie. You always go in with the biggest appetite in your mind, and then when it's on the plate and you're getting through it, you're like, fuck off, full ways. Where's that dog?
It's a battle, man. It's a battle. You know.
Gee, but why is there always just one dog, eh? Like one whānau member's always got the dog that's just roaming around the hākari. There's always one, man. It's always one. Like, do they just, it's a paid actor, I swear. Because it's always there, G. It's always there. Like the one uncle playing up and that one dog that's always there. But look, that's enough of dreaming. I'm kind of hungry again. I just had dinner, but I'm kind of hungry again. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go now to our international teams that we've selected. Like I said, 2 is doing Matematanga, Sam is doing the Kiwis, and I am doing the Kangaroos. Sam, since you won Paper, Scissors, Rock, who do you want to go first?
We'll let Aussie kick it off.
All right. That belongs to me. So, Australia, I didn't realize how little depth they had on the wing. I was going through and I'm like, no, Samoan, Tongan, Kiwi, Lebanese, Papua New Guinean. Is that how you call it? Papua New Guinean?
Yep.
Or
I
like
don't
a
know.
Papua?
I
Sorry,
wouldn't have a
whānau,
clue.
never been there, cuzzies. Enlighten me. Comment down below what you're called, and I'll work to call you that in the future. Aroha mai. And then others, fullbacks that don't really specialize as wingers. So that was a hard spot to fill. Also, there's a lot of cloud around who's going to be taking some off-season surgery and who's going to be playing in the international comp. Because it's not a World Cup, I'd assume most of the key players will opt for surgery, which opens the door for other players to come through and, get their first ever rep jersey. So how am I going to do this? I'll go through and give my preferred choice, and then I'll come in with who I think will take that backup spot. So at fullback, my preferred choice is the Dylan Edwards. If Dylan Edwards is unavailable and is opting for off-season surgery, then Caleb Ponga will be my second choice fullback to take his spot. On the wings, I've got Zach Lomax. He was my number 1 choice for the wing. Now my number 2 choice, well, that just is, what do we call that? It depends. It depends if Xavier Coates would like to play for Australia or PNG. He is my second winger that I would like to have. Now, if he's unavailable, my other winger is another it depends, because he's also played for Lebanon. So my second winger is the informed Jacob Kiraz, and he has filled up the stat sheet over this past season. I was actually looking for a replacement winger, and I was just pulled up stats from, what's that site? what's the one we go to for the contracts?
Oh, zero
Zero.
tackle.
Zero tackle. So I pulled up all the stats from zero tackle, and he led a lot of the stats, run meters, post contact meters, things like that. So I was like, shit. All right, let's get Kiwis in there. I think he'd suit Zach Lomax and Jacob Kiwis on the wings if Coates isn't available. I wanted Coates there because his aerial ability close to the line is, second to none. His ability to finish, and then you've got Lomax who's a dog on that kick chase. He might knock it on, but he also might come up with it and then just rotate and put the ball down, or put enough kick pressure on that he forces someone in goal. Probably not one of our boys, but potentially. Then in the centres, my number one pick is Hamiso Tabuai Fido. He is my number one pick as centre. My second pick is, again, it depends if he's healthy, if he's there, which is Bradman Best. If he's unhealthy and unavailable, then it will go to Val Holmes, who will also be our primary kicker, which this next lot really indicates whether or not he also jumps Bradman Best as well. But if Edwards is there and none of these other players are there, Edwards is kicking, and then Best can play. If Cleary's there, well then Best can play. If he's not, then Holmes is in. So I'll get into my halves now. We've got at 6. My preferred choice is obviously Cameron Munster. He's coming into some form at the moment. I know Tom Dearden is probably going to get a look in if Munster goes for off-season surgery, because he opted not to have surgery this season. He just kind of just let things heal. And we'll see how healed he is at the end of the season. But yeah, he's my preferred choice. And if we were booting up the video game, we'll just turn injuries off. But if he's unavailable, I've gone 2 ways. If Coates is unavailable and Munster's unavailable, we're going with the Kiwis Burton lineup just for a bit of chemistry, because Kiwis otherwise would be the only Bulldog in the squad. If not, then we'll probably go with the informed 6 at the moment from the Cowboys, and that's Tom Dearden. His ability to lead the team around would probably be beneficial, but Matt Burton's kicking, getting it out of your half, probably something the Australian team would rely on and would probably need, especially in this series against a big Tongan forward pack, as well as a strong Kiwis forward pack. So Burton would probably offer, I think, a little bit more dexterity than what Dearden can. I know you're screwing up your face, bro, but can Dearden kick a bomb like Burton? Can he kick them out of trouble?
What's your
He's
7
good with
doing?
a dummy, and that's about it.
What's
Someone
your
reads
7
into
doing?
that. Huh?
What's your 7 doing?
Well, that's again. If Nathan Cleary's unavailable, my next first choice is Mitch Moses. There's articles I've read. He could be cleared to rejoin camp by the time the camp kicks off. He should be cleared and ready to play football. If not, well, then it goes to just old reliable Daly Cherry Evans. He's not my first choice. He's about 60 years old, playing a full season into postseason. So the longer the postseason runs, the less likely I am to select him. Yeah, he's quality. Yeah, he's experienced, but there's a thing called too much seasoning. You ever bit something that already had salt on it and you added more salt to it? Yuck. Daly Cherry Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Had they been eliminated last week and he's had a few, over a month to recover for that, yeah, I'd probably pick him. But because he hasn't, I'm looking at Cleary first choice. If Cleary goes off for off-season surgery and Mitch Moses becomes available, he's second choice. If he's unavailable still, then it goes to Daly Cherry Evans. And if it's Daly Cherry Evans or Nathan Cleary that's playing, one of those two will become captain. I'll get through the rest. At prop, we've got Patrick Carrigan and Payne Haas. If Payne Haas is unavailable, then we'll go with Lindsay Collins from the Roosters. At hooker, we've gone with Harry Grant. If he's unavailable, we'll go with Reece Robson. If Harry Grant is available, Reece Robson is probably like 20th to 22nd man on the team. He's not top tier. Then in our second row, we've got Big Angus. Big fan of Big Angus. He's had a great season, and I think he'd be one of the first players you select to pull on a jersey. Um, the way he big man frickin' little Ruben Cotter in State of Origin just still can't get over that, and there's some big boppers in both the Kiwis and the Tongan team, and so you're gonna need a dog that can just big man those players and push them around, and not get phased by any of that stuff. Big Angus is who I want leading the way. Next to him, I've got Cam Murray on the other edge. Pretty much based it off of the New South Wales Origin lineup. Before when Yo comes on, Murray moves in, so we go with that. And then 13 is Isaiah Yo. Still not sold on him, but he's most likely to get picked because of who he is, and he is my vice captain. However, if Mitch Moses is selected, not Nathan or Daly, Isaiah Yo becomes captain, and Harry Grant becomes vice captain. On the bench, I've gone with Connor Watson, Ruben Cotter, Liam Martin, Jake Trebojevic, and at 18th and 19th man, we've got Kalen Ponga and Matt Burden. However, if Kalen Ponga makes the starting lineup, James Tedesco becomes the 18th man. And that is my iteration of the Australian side and my thinking behind that.
Yeah, look, not bad, not bad. I see you going for the new look, a bit of a changing of the guard there with James Tedesco not making the lineup, and even DCE, kind of being on out looking in two staples of the team. But it's going to happen eventually, right? Those two been in that squad for quite a while. It's just a matter of when's the timing to pull the trigger. I mean, do we think they'll be there for the next World Cup? It's actually not that far, right? The next one, next World Cup,
2026.
Oh yeah, so if you're planning for that now to win that one, might be time to pull the trigger now as opposed to waiting till the tournament. I mean, Teddy might still be around, DC might still be around as well, but you would think that people would have overtaken those two by that time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
class of what players are available. Yeah.
Ideally, Dylan Edwards is available. He's just the starting number one. He's not a winger. He is the starting number one. So hopefully he's available, man, because that will definitely set the tone for this team, I think, having Dylan Edwards at fullback. I see you shaking your head, but half your team's ineligible.
What do you mean half my team's ineligible?
You got Cook Islanders in there.
That's one. And he's eligible to play for the Kiwis.
I don't really, yeah. I mean,
but I'm shaking my head because Dylan Edwards is banged up now.
Yeah, he is. But that's what I'm saying though. He's my first choice over Tedesco. If both were healthy, I think it's just time, like Two said, to pull the trigger and start bleeding in these new combinations, get them familiar with one another, so that come the next World Cup, they're ready to go. Kind of like what the All Blacks need to go through.
Yeah,
you don't lose much with Edwards. Edwards to me is a similar player to Tedesco in the way they play. Like their support play and the way they can carry teams out the backfield. Those two are more similar styles. Both, Tedesco's got the better ball play, but, he wasn't a ball player at the start of his career. He's kind of learned that over time. Same with Dylan Edwards, that's slowly coming along. But what they're known for is their work ethic, their ability to back up, play through the middle. So I think those two are there won't be that much of a drop-off, if any, if Dylan Edwards gets the nod over Teddy. He's built for it now. It's kind of his time, really.
And I'm not too sure Aussie will or can win this tournament with the strength of both the Kiwis and the Tongan team. But they're Australia, so you always got to give them the respect that they deserve. And they'll probably be there or thereabouts anyway, regardless of the team they field. They just know how to sort of pull things out. And I think the biggest weakness of the returning Kiwis, the defending Kiwis, is their coach. That's where I think Australia has the edge over every other team, is their coach.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing for Aussie, right, is availability. Who's available for them? Because Clary's by... big rap on Jerome, but Clary is the best. He's the best player in the league. I have a question though. Any thoughts on Fogarty?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Just like because
I,
he's a bit younger than DCE,
yeah. I
and
just put DCE in there just out of respect for DCE.
yeah,
That's more of a. But Fogarty is a great shout. He offers a great kick, similar to Burden.
the other one I was a bit surprised you didn't put in here, Mitch Barnett.
Fuck, I forgot he's Australian.
Yeah,
G. That's what
because
happens when you
I
play for
went
the
through my
Warriors.
team because I went through the Kiwis and then I did an Aussie team. Barnett was the first one in there because I was like, oh brother, you can play on the edge, you can play in the middle. Welcome.
Well, because I think Payne will be getting surgery and things over the season, he takes that
I'm not gonna
Lindsay
lie,
spot.
bro, it's a Liz Frank. If I'm the Broncos, I don't know why the hell they played him the other
Bro,
game.
facts.
I'll be telling him, sit your ass down.
Facts.
You be ready for next season.
That, bro. And why would you try and push your like number one player through that? Just for like the season's over, bro. The season's over. Just give it up. Yeah, no, that's a good shout. So I've just switched Lindsay Collins out for Mitch Barnett. I totally overlooked him. I didn't even think of any Warriors players because I'm just so used to them all being Kiwi or Tongan or Samoan. Fully overlooked him. So yeah, shout out for that one. So he'll probably be starting instead of Payne Haas, but Payne Haas is obviously preferred prop.
You know, when you said Gerbo, I was like, no
I mean,
Barnett,
he's
huh?
just another player that I've got in there just for experience and leadership. His humility during State of Origin to play a combined 3 minutes over the three games, you know, you got to take some humility, some leadership to be able to sit down on the bench for like 80 minutes a game for each of those three games. So yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Like Paddy Mills, Jake Turbo, same. Same.
So sad.
Hey man, but come on, you got to have someone like that on the team. What do they call that? The heart and soul of the bench.
Yeah,
Even if
Ruben
you're a
Cotter.
starter, you're on the bench. I ain't never seen a starter be benched for so long in my life.
Hey man, it is what it is.
So
he
just because
knew
of
what
that,
he had to do.
respect. We'll give him the respect. Obviously, there's no Fox. He'd rather do cocaine instead. Latrell's the same.
Whoa. The Fox is still maintaining his innocence.
Wow, evidence says otherwise, but
The evidence does say otherwise.
and if I'm correct here, evidence is what helps pass you tests, gets you over the line. And if the evidence is against you, my boy, it's a bit of a fuck on your mind. But yeah, that's the Australian team. And like I said, might not be a winning team, but they've got a winning coach, so you never know.
All right, who do you want to go next?
Rock it off. No, you know what? We'll save the Kiwis for last because they are the defending champs. So we'll head over to the Kingdom of Tonga.
Yes, and what a kingdom we live in. Welcome to the Matematanga team. Now, will this be the team that takes the field? I don't know, but is this the team that I would pick? Most of it, yeah. When I was going through this team, I didn't realize they have a lot more depth than I thought. So the way I got this team is a lot of it was just seeing who was in the last squad, the squad that went to England, I believe, and then kind of just seeing who was available. Oh, wow. Who I think will make the team this year. So we're just going to get into it, really. At number one, fullback, we'll go with Toluto Kola. I have no doubt that he'll be in the team. Whether he's the fullback might to be seen. He's more than likely, but I feel as though if he's not there, he'll be at the centre or wing. The wingers, we've gone with Daniel Tupou. I think he might hold the record for most tests for Tonga. If he doesn't, he's up there with it. And even though he's coming of age, he's just still a really, really good winger. And he's partnered up with Dylan Watene-Zelezniak, who I'm pretty sure switched his allegiance
last year,
year.
I think it was.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's made a debut yet, but he kind of deserves his chance. So hopefully he'll make the squad and make his debut for them.
Hey, is that a pick that you want to sabotage, Tonga? If you go back a few episodes, ladies and gentlemen, you know how this man feels about this fella.
Yes,
He
I
hates
am
him.
really
I said,
open
imagine if
about
we
it.
got sponsored by their watch brand. He goes, I don't want their watches. Can't even play the ball properly.
And I'll never forget that play. Never. Fucking broke my heart. But I do have other options for this. So the one player that was super close to making this team, and I feel as though he'll be in the squad whether he makes the 17. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does, was Lehi Hopoari. I've actually got all three Hopoari brothers in the squad because I feel as though Will more than likely... Huh?
Where's he?
Bro, he's retired.
Nah, man, he's
Yeah.
not retired. Did he
Bro,
retire?
he retired last year.
No.
That's why
Well,
I
he's
said it in
still in
the
the
chat
team,
when
man.
I read it and I saw Will Hopewadi. I was like, bro, he's retired.
Yeah, I saw Will, and that's why I was making a face. I was like, huh?
Oh, I don't know.
No. But he's retired.
But a great player, you know. He
Yeah,
could still do it
absolutely.
if he wants to. But yeah, I do got the Hopewadi boys in there. Lehi, I think he's a future star, man. And wouldn't be surprised if he's naming the team. In the centres, I've got Moses Sully and Will Penasini. Both kind of staples of the team, I'm pretty sure. And then... So yeah, going to the halves at 7, there's really only one option. It's just Katoa. He's been a 7 there since he was like 12. You know, and he's going to be there for as long as he wants to be. 6 was a hard one. Wasn't too sure who to go. They just don't have any halves. It's like one of their weakest position is having another one.
Samoa's got them all.
Yeah, wow. So the player I ended up going with is Lolo here, purely because he played for them last year. I don't even know if he still plays in the Super League. I'm assuming he does. So he's kind of taking that, was it incumbent role, and he'll stay the 6th. The player I was looking at was Latu Fainu. I say give it a year, and Fainu will take that jumper from him. And again, if they want to go with the new movement, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the halves combo. Was it just being Fainu and Katoa? That would not surprise me at all. To the forwards now. At number 8, he's the captain, Adam Whanua-Blake. Pretty easy pick. And he's partnered up with Jason Taumalo. Guess the one who started the movement of players going to Tonga. If he's healthy and he wants to play, he'll be there. At 9, I was tossing up between these two players. I ended up going with Sonny Luke to start. And then having Saliva Havili coming off the bench, number 14. Again, staple of the team. He's probably will be the 9 on the day. Just figures Sonny Luke like a specialist 9, and then have Havili as that roaming role off the bench. Second rowers, they kind of picked themselves really. I mean, with Ola Kawatu, how could he not be there with the form that he's been in? And then it's the same for Katoa. At least, what was it? Yeah, Katoa from Melbourne Storm. Both just devastating second rowers. They're in the form of their lives, so pretty hard not to pick them. And with 13, I got with someone who was a regular for a little bit on our team of the week. If you've been following the show, you would know from South Sydney Rabbitohs, we're going Keon Koloamatangi. On the bench, we have Havili at 14. At 15, we've gone with Talakai. I actually forgot he was on the team, or that he's Tongan. I thought he might have had a look in for the Aussie team, maybe. Again, has that versatility, can play centre, second row, can kind of chuck him anywhere. At 16, we've gone with Fotuika. Again, a solid player. He's going to fill that prop role, rotating in with Whanua-Blake and Tom Lolo. 17 was one that I didn't quite know which way to go. Definitely quite a few options. You had Kafusi, Tavita Pangai Jr., but I think he might be injured. Tupanua, Totola, Hamisele, Sui Wong, even the young one, Samuela Fainu. Heaps of options in the forward pack, man. I decided to go with experience and gone with Tyson Frizzell. But again, any of those names that I listed, I wouldn't be surprised if they get that jersey. And at 18, man, I've gone with Latu Fainu. I just think I have big reps on him. And again, wouldn't be surprised if he ends up just starting at 6 anyway. But that's pretty much the team. 2 names that I had, or a few names that I had in here, was Katoni Staggs and David Fafita. I just think that I kind of had them pinned to make the Aussie team not the Tongan team, which is
I had it the
why.
other way around.
Oh, so you had it that they would come to Tonga first. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm just assuming now all of the island players just want to go and represent their own.
yeah, true
And,
that,
you know,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, I did had them as underliners. If they didn't make Aussie, they would make my starting team, which means someone I'd either be Sully or Penasini. You're out. Stags is in, and probably Katoa would move to the bench, and Fafita would start alongside Olakuatu, kind of thing. So just second row was for choice, and then one more that was in and out of the team was Paul Alamori. I just forgot about him, and another like quality center. So they've got quality all around, good players. They're just missing their other half, and then like another 9, just 2 key spine players. But they can fill out the roster with quality across the board. They've got a good coach, Christian Wolf. The team has been together for a bit. I think they're ready to make some noise. It's just whether their top players want to play. And I don't know if it's Tonga or Samoa that are having financial issues. I swear one of them always do.
Samoa.
Also, it's okay. Well, then, so hopefully Matematanga can bring their A team, because if they can, man, they can make noise. I don't know if I'd pick them to win it. I'll probably still go with Aussie. As weak as, as perceived weak as they are, they're still probably the most skillful team, and they can still just smoke you whenever they want, really.
It's that perceived weakness, I think, hey, that's getting us.
Yeah.
Like, just because of the way they got slapped up last year. But I know he's picking a totally different team this year, as to last year, so it's going to be a lot harder, I think, for the Kiwis to get up. I'd love to see the Kiwis get up, and Tonga. I'd love to see the downfall of Australia. I think one of the strengths of New Zealand is our players departed early. Tom Malolo left early, Martin Tapau left early. So we've learned how to regrow with like players that want to play for New Zealand and part of New Zealand talent, where I think Australia are just now getting used to, oh shit, we can't rely on, all of the players that we normally have in our team, all of our island players. Now we've got to figure out, okay, who now actually wants to play for Australia, because all of the young island nations, they get to play Origin and then play for their home nation. So I think it's caught Australia off guard a little bit, and they've had to sort of readapt.
Yeah, that's pretty much my team, man, or the Tongan team. I think it's not too bad, but yeah, just missing that half in. But yeah.
Yeah, no, looks good. I'll be honest, I haven't got a lot to say about it.
It's a strong side, eh?
Yeah, it's a very strong side. Must admit, I did look and see if Ali Katoa was eligible for the Kiwis. Well, because I know he used to play for the Warriors, so I was like, any chance you were born here? So yeah, I had a look at it to try and keep the Melbourne edge together, but
who's coaching Tonga?
Christian Wolf, I believe. Yeah.
That's no
It's
matter what team you name for the
Yeah.
Kiwis, I just can't get over their coach.
I'm the same. It'll be the ability of, I think, what will make the tournament is the ability of both Tonga and Kiwis to like come together as a team, and how quickly they can gel. Like Kiwis in the past have always gotten better as the tournament's gone along. Like one-off tests, they're not that great, but if you give them a series, they get better as a tournament. Aussie, like, they're kind of just good in general. Like they can win one-off tests comfortably and give them time to gel. They're even more dangerous. Tonga, I think if they get a crowd behind them, but isn't this in? Where's the tournament being played? If it was here in NZ,
the
I'd
first
probably
game
pull.
is.
Oh, is it?
But yeah, we play Aussie in Christchurch.
Ah, okay.
I don't know what the final is though, but
because that would make me push it. Yeah, like if it was all here, then yeah, I'd back those Tongans that much more. Especially if it was Auckland, if the final was at Eden Park.
If that's a Tonga New Zealand final, that might be a Tonga home game.
Not right.
That is what it is in my view. I would hope we get enough Kiwis out there to support, but
no, there's nothing.
It's not even close. It's not even.
You've got no passion like a Tongan fan's passion. They don't even know what the hell they're playing in some sports, but they're there. And that's the most important thing is they there. 100%. They 10 toes down for their city. It could be curling.
All
They'll
right,
be there.
you know who else that reminds me of? The Philippines. Bro, I
Yeah.
was watching a FIBA, one of the under-18 games, I think it was. We played the Philippines, bro. We were killing them. Their fans were going Andes. I was like, what is this? This tournament's not even being played in the Philippines. Why do you guys have fans there?
Oh, shit.
Hey, man.
Australia only have one game versus Tonga and then the final being played in Australia. New Zealand and Australia are playing in Christchurch, and New Zealand and Tonga play at Mount Smart.
It's going to be a tough game, man.
Jesus.
2nd of November. It's a month later. Could we reconvene?
I did look at that Kiwi Aussie game and I was like, not far. Not far for me.
Hey, if we were all still in Dunners, I'd just be like, gee, that's us,
Yeah.
But yeah, give us your Kiwi squad, Sam.
My Kiwi squad, I've rattled a few feathers because I refuse to not have Chancellor Clockstead as my fullback. I'm a big fan. I'm still a big believer in him. He had a down year, but guess what? So did all the Warriors. So, apart from Barnett. So, I'm not going to hold it against him. So, my one, I've got Chancellor Clockstead. My wings, I've gone with Will Warbrick because, he's had an unreal season. Also, shock horror. My 7's going to be Jerome Hughes, so I want to keep those two together. My other winger, there are a few options there, but one thing that was very obvious, we don't have a lot of goal kicking. and as Tu said in his, I think it was his Dolphins rebuild, he's an 80% kicker, man. He's not going anywhere. Jermaine Osako, you get the other wing spot. I'm a big fan of you too, especially when you have a centre that will pass you the ball. Herbie, not always that guy. But, so we've gone with Warbrick and Isako on the wings. Centres, I've gone with Timoko, and then the other one, he gets the call up for the Kiwis. There are a few different ways I thought about the centre spot, because admittedly he wasn't my first thought. But then I wasn't really sold on the other centre spot, so I started going through the junior Kiwis list. And then I was like, oh man, I need to find me another centre. And then I remembered, I was like, brother, he's eligible. So yeah, so that's why I ended up taking Iro. At 6, the first choice option is Dylan Brown, but I don't think he's going to be available. He's said a lot about he needs a rest. He's had a rest the whole season, but he needs a rest apparently.
Can you tell him to get out of the photo shoots? I don't want to see him in none of the photo shoots. If you're not going to be putting that jumper on come game time, get out the fucking photo shoot.
So yeah, he's been in the photo shoots, but yeah, I just kind of think he might sit this one out. So I've looked at it. I thought Cody probably gets picked, but I'm taking Timare Martin because I think he's still got some really good footy left, and he might just get better, especially if he's given the full-time opportunity at the Warriors next season.
I think he might get picked too, because obviously he plays with the Warriors, whereas Cody plays for the Dolphins. So Stace might pick a player closer to home that he knows a little better.
My one thinking with it potentially being Cody was because of the versatility he offers. I don't really want to see Osako at the back, but I also don't want to see Cody at the back if Chance was to get injured. But yeah, so I've gone with Tamati at the 6, obviously Jerome at the 7. The front row, they picked themselves, but they're also, I'm not totally certain they're going to be available. There was talks with Spencer Linu and with Critters. It's Critters, right? Wedding? They're both getting married this
I think so, yeah.
This offseason. So there's talks a lot of the Panthers might not be around to play, but I've gone with, what do they call them, the Bash Bros or something out of Penrith. Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris. I've selected them, but if they're unavailable, then it becomes Leo Thompson and Nelson Asafa-Solomona. Leo misses the first game, but that's it. Because of his
that's right. Yeah.
because of his high shot on Kyle Felt. At 9, hey man, if you listen to me, I'm a big fan of this guy at 9, so I'm taking Crosland to start at 9. My thinking there is, he can cover the halves as well if needed. I pray he's not needed to, but if he is, he's at least a decent-ish option there. On the edges, I've gone with Nikora, no surprise. My other one, I really want to get on top of a lot of the forward packs, so I'm going to start Nelson on the edge. My whole thing is start Nelson Asafa-Solomona on the same edge as Warbrick, as Hughes, and try really get going over there. But if Nelson has to start in a prop, then we've got Isaiah Papali'i coming in, because I think he's he's had a bad season with the Tigers, but I still think if you put good players around him, he kind of plays to that level. Meanwhile, the Tigers is kind of just like, hey man, we need you to carry us at times, and he's not really there. 13, hey man, it's the first name on the list, Joey Tapine. I wanted to make him the captain, but he's the vice captain, and he will be the captain if James Fisher-Harris isn't available, because James Fisher-Harris will be the captain. Off the bench, we've gone with Jeremy Marshall-King. I would like to start him, but I think really with this big forward pack and then bringing him off the bench as they have kind of got it rolling, then we can potentially take Nelson off, put Isaiah Papali'i on, and then we get a bit more speed. So that was my thinking there. Leo Thompson is off the bench. If he has to start, then I've got Griffin Neem coming in. And then my 16 is Isaiah Papali'i. My 17, I went back and forth on this, and I thought, who do I want to see play centre more if it's required? And that's Jack Howarth. My other option there was Scott Sorensen, but I opted for Jack Howarth because I also hope he chooses the Kiwis. 18th man, just kind of someone who has a bit of versatility, who I can see, who I know is a somewhat decent centre, can play on the wing. Apparently can play fullback. I pray I'd never have to see it. And that's Seb Chris.
Oh.
Well, apparently he can play fullback. I pray we never see it. Or at least not in a black jersey.
Bro, he hasn't even played fullback for his club. Who needs a fullback?
What? The whole thing was he can play fullback. Well, I don't know.
Bro, if he can't play fullback for Ricky, he can't play fullback for Stacey.
Hey, man. But also, Ricky just loves not putting people in certain positions.
This is true.
It's the whole thing, like what he did with Chance. The moment Chance was out, you're never playing again. But yeah, so that's the team.
Interesting. An interesting team, I must admit.
Hey man, but Kenny is in the squad, but I don't want him playing.
Okay, no, fair enough.
He's probably our best informed fullback at the moment. Like, Chan's at his own club's not the best fullback. Tuopiki's like their informed fullback.
And he's also not making the team. I'm just a big believer. What happened the last time Chance put that jersey on?
Can't remember. Wasn't memorable. Hey, I can tell you the last time Griffin Neem put their jersey on, scored under the sticks. My boy.
Well, you tell me who Griffin Neeman's taking out of that squad.
What squad?
Is he replacing Leota? Is he replacing James Fisher-Harris? Is he replacing Nelson? Is he replacing Leo Thompson?
He's replacing Papali'i.
No.
I need Griff in there, man. The only reason we know him is because of that 30-0 trouncing. We were in the restaurant in Wellington, getting our burgers, and then Big Griff goes over to seal the deal. I mean, the deal was sealed, but he just went over, and we were like, who's that? And lo and behold, it was Big Griff.
No, man.
He's more of a mana pick than anything.
So.
He probably gets in over Thompson. Thompson's not playing.
He's not
got a
playing
head
one
off.
game.
Hey, that's one opportunity for Neem to get in there.
Well,
to be honest,
they'll make the team.
That's why he's
sure,
in the
like,
squad.
yeah,
No,
they'll make the
'cause
team.
to be honest, there's only maybe 3 games if you make the final. There's no point picking someone who's going to miss one.
I'm taking Leo Thompson. I'm taking Leo.
What about no Mulitalo?
Hey man, the
Need a
squad
kicker.
was 21.
Need
He's
a
not a
kicker.
kicker.
Oh, so Warbrick's the number 1 winger.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that pick too.
Well, it's more because of him and Hughes.
Yeah, he's grown
Like-
too. Warbrick's grown a lot, even throughout this season. He does make stupid errors, but his ability to just get up and get that ball, man, he'll definitely outjump Lomax. I haven't seen him versus Coates, so that'll be an interesting matchup.
Teammates going at it. That'd be a
Yeah,
good
man.
one to watch, yeah. And then, does foreign make your squad at all?
No.
Damn, no love for foreign. That's tough.
That is pretty tough.
Tough. Not even to use him as just like a mentor. Like,
Yeah, you can join the
Yeah,
coaching
it's like-
staff.
oh, okay, yep, you heard the man.
Yeah, him and SJ
Yeah.
running waters, bro, not bad. Just have them being the Alfie Lena out on the field, just telling
I
them
don't know.
everything.
It's tough for me to think foreign can run the water. Might get injured doing it.
He's been a lot better these last few years.
Yeah, well, I will forever hold it against him. I needed him one time. One time, you know what he did? Ooh, I'm hurt.
I needed him
Well-
for 3 years. You know what he did? Spent most of it on the sideline on a $1 million contract.
Exactly.
But he
Yeah.
needed to go back to Manly because every time he played for Manly, he wasn't injured then.
Yeah,
Was the year
bro.
you supported him? Was he at Manly or was he at a different team?
He was not a Manly.
Yeah, see, yeah, there you go then. Because when he's at Manly, dude never gets injured. Must be something in that Manly water, I must admit. 'Cause far out.
The
Other
biggest
than
letdown
that,
for the
yeah.
Kiwis, obviously their coach, but I think what you lack in coach, you gain in a captain. Fish as the captain of the Kiwis, he gives so much mana to the team. Like he is definitely the heartbeat of that team. Like I talked about Jake being the heartbeat of the bench. Yeah, Fish is the heartbeat of the team. Of the team.
It's outrageous.
Yeah. Fish will definitely be there if he's healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
even if he's like half injured, he's still playing.
Bro,
He's
half
just,
of
it
Fish.
means too much for him, I feel. You know,
Yeah.
same with he's one of the few superstars that will always play for the Maldives because you know what it means to him.
Yeah, bro,
You know,
facts.
so
Hey. He's not one
it's
to sort of
just-
put them on the back burner just because,
Yeah.
I want to focus on my career. Fuck your
Yeah.
career. Focus on your people.
So he'll definitely be there.
Yeah, man.
Big face, big face. But those are our picks for the team. So, when the team lists finally come out, we'll revisit these and we'll see how many each of us got close. And if we've got people who decide to jump teams midway through our selections, well, hey, that's out of our control. We picked who we would like to see in these teams. I think we all did pretty well on that. So
Yeah.
I'll hand the reins to two to give us the rundown of how our 2-game preview. So there's only 2 games this weekend at the Whānau. No more Thursday night bangers. And the last one was not a banger. It was a disappointment. So I can't believe that's how the season ends.
Oh,
They should have put the spoon game on that Thursday night. That would have been way better.
they should have. That would have been a banger and a half to set
Yeah.
it off. Yes, but anyway, fine. So we thought we'd try something different. There are only 2 games, so they kind of gave us the opportunity to try something new. So I thought I'd just throw it out there to the boys earlier. Why not do something a little bit different? A lot of the thinking behind it is that there's only 2 games, so we could kind of all have a chance to talk about it. But we run the risk, and we kind of learnt this early on in our journey, early days of the practice runs, is that we end up talking about the same thing. So kind of stopped that what we did, and also maybe to add a little debate theme in there is that the 2 boys don't actually know. So it's going to be Sam against Rawiri. They're going to do both the games, but they actually don't know what team they're going to do. The point of it being is that when they do the team list, and whatever team they get to do is that they have to convince me. I have $10 Whānau to put a bet on It's up to them to convince me why their team will win and why my $10 should go towards their bet. So they can kind of do it how they would. The general guideline is that they just say do the team list and then maybe go 3 reasons why they think their team will win. They can do those 3 however they want, maybe key matchups or where they think they got an advantage. I've kind of left it up to them. But the spinners, they don't know what team they're going with. So, I mean, I feel as though let's just jump into the first game, eh? These kind of we'll just freelance it. We'll just see how it goes. So the first game on Friday, it is at a core?
I don't know.
Nah, Allianz. Both are.
Allegiance.
Both are at Allianz.
Bro, that groundskeeper better fucking look after that grass, man.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. So yes, the first game kick off at 9:50 at Allianz Stadium. You have the Sharks against
What?
the Cowboys.
950.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
not ideal.
They're avoiding the NFL again, I think it is.
Freaking AFL.
Oh, yeah, that's the one, AFL.
I hope it doesn't work out. I hope your numbers drop and decline and you realize fuck, we're just gonna have to run it.
They're scared, eh? I guess it's also because like the timing, right? It's more prime time for them. Like 9:50 for us is what 8 for them. Kind of
At the moment.
Yeah.
Not in 2 weeks. Daylight savings.
So look, I mean, the man kind of won paper scissors rock earlier. I know he got to choose who did the international teams first, but I was kind of always going on that anyway. So if I had won it, he would have got I would have got the first pick because he won it. We'll let Sam pick what team he wants to represent for the first one. Fuck, today would be nice.
Gee, I gotta edit this.
Nah, see, because like I looked into this, and man,
Just pick a team. Get out.
Guys.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
All right. So since you got to pick first, you might as well go first. Give Rawiri time to get his rebuttal ready.
Yeah, anyone who's like listened, I've been pretty high on the Cowboys for a bit. Last week was not all too pleasing for me to watch. The team list is 1 through 17 or 1 through 18. Basically, it's the same team as what it was last week. It's I'll just list the 1 through 17. You got Drinkwater at the back. You got Felton, Taulagi on the wings. Val Holmes and Viley in the centres. You've got Tom Dearden and Clifford in the halves. Jordan McLean and Tamalolo, they are in a prop. Reece Robson at hooker. Halem Lukey and Nanite, they are the second row. And Ruben Cotter is at lock. Sam McIntyre, Harrison Edwards, and Funifuaki, as well as Griffin, they're named on the bench. There's no one really on the extended bench that I'd be led to believe would be coming into the squad. Last week, man, they were bad. They were bad for a long stretch of that game. It's kind of been the one thing that's been their Achilles heel all season. They can't tackle. They cannot tackle. And against the Sharks team, even though they're down at the moment, like the history says the Sharks win this, by the way, massively. But
You're not really selling me on this $10.
Hey man, what did I say to you in those? What did I say to you in the messages? What if we don't believe? What if we don't believe? And then you want me, the one who stands on his shit the most, to be like, yeah, I'm gonna sell you something I'm not overly hopeful on. The big thing is, right, the Sharks are down. The Sharks got thumped last weekend, and a lot of that was their own doing. The Cowboys, if they can tackle, they have the ability to win this and smoke this thing, and smoke the Sharks. But it's which Cowboys show up. If they can defend, then they have a really good chance. I went back and I actually watched the extended highlights of a lot of the games that the Sharks and Cowboys have played over the last few years. Man, the Cowboys leading some really dumb tries, like easy mistakes. I can't lie. And they're all down the right edge. All down their right edge. Right edge?
Murray's.
Yeah, that edge, bro. There's so many times where it's like, bro, it's a chip over the top. Dearden's going backwards, just doesn't catch it. Like he catches and then loses it, and then they get over the top. They score. What was the other one? There's another really bad. Drinkwater takes a bomb 2 minutes into the game, is getting driven over the sideline, offloads it. Kennedy picks it up, dummies the winger. It's not Murray in this one. It's Valame. Dummies him, bro. Bites on the dummy. Scores 2 minutes into the game, and they get thumped the rest of that game. But I think one of the biggest things watching this is Brayley against the Cowboys gets really good. Like they're poor market defenders. They let him run. So if they can fix up that, and they can learn to tackle at some point, they're gonna have a chance here because they've got the points. It's just whether or not the defense actually shows up to it. And Nico is maybe the worst $1 million player in the comp. Or the way he's playing is so. There's been a lot about like his mental. It's not the best right now, and like, I can understand why. Like he gets hammered so much. So I just wonder, is this maybe like kind of going to play on them? And also the stat, Sharks haven't won a playoff game since 2017, 2018. One of those 2 years. That's just what I know it is. So yeah, I haven't really done a lot to sell you on it, but I'll be honest. I look at the stats here, and the stats aren't good. The stats are not good.
If you think your team is to like win it, where would it be? Like, where's their advantage that they have over the Sharks? Like, what's the one thing they can hang their head on that you know they are definitely better than the Sharks at? All right, next question.
Bro, I'm telling you, the stats are bad. I don't know if the round says his, but I'll tell you the stats. I'll tell you the stats I've got. It's. I mean, the one hope is that Dearden. So the last time they played, where the advantage is, granted, now this was without Nico, Will Kennedy, and Royce Hunt. Scott Drinkwater was unbelievable. He tore the Sharks apart. They scored 5 tries. They won the game 30-22, I think it was. 30-22. Drinkwater had officially 2 tries, but he set up 4 of the 5 tries. He set up 4 of the 5 tries. It just happened to be 2 of these tries just went to the guy who catch pass to the winger. But yeah, so that's kind of what the hope is that Drinkwater can kind of do that, because every time he's played them, or not every time, but most of the times he's played them, they torch their left side. Attacking the Kyle Feldt wing, that's where they get the bulk of their tries is down that side. I think when I look at the stats, they score against the Sharks, I think it's like 6 more tries than like the middle or the other edge to that right side. So basically that's what the hope is that they can just attack down that edge and that Drinkwater is on, because if he's off, they have no chance.
Alrighty, yes, do a lot of valid points there. But if you got nothing more to say, we will then move over to Rawiri to see what he's got to say about his Sharks and their chances of taking this first semi-final.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Look, this microphone's not even plugged into anything. It's just there for aesthetic. I'm mic'd up on the shirt, but it works, okay? It works. I feel like a Channel 9 news reporter. Rawiri Ratahi, 3 News. All right, so at fullback, we've got William Kennedy. Sione Katoa is paired with Ronaldo Mulitalo. In the centres, Tamakai is named. However, Jesse Rahman is on the extended bench. And referring to my notes here, Fitzgibbons reckons Depends how he heals, but it'd be a good chance, I reckon. Told media on post-match on Saturday. That is coming off of an ankle injury he suffered against Manly in round 27. It has been 2 weeks since then, so I don't know much about ankles, but I'm sure it don't take too long to recover an ankle. And in a must-win match, you must play. That's all I'm saying. So it'll be good to see Megarine out there doing his best, and that would push Talakai to the bench. And then Kale Edel, the rookie sensation, most likely to be rookie of the year, is his centre partner. Then we've got Trindle, a favourite of Sam's in the halves there, paired with the unfortunate Nicholas Hines. He's having a rough season the past 2 seasons, I think. He's just been a bit hard done by. I mean, last year, what was it, Game 2 Origin? He was put in for like a couple of minutes and unfortunately had a missed tackle that Cleary missed before that and he had no shot of getting to. And the Maroons unfortunately won. And Nico copped the blame for that, but, you know, as big as the bro's shoulders are, he sort of pushed on and moved on. And then, was it this year or last year? He had a big game in the Indigenous All-Stars game when he played for his Indigenous brothers. He had a big game then. I remember he won man of the match. It must have been last year.
It was one of them. He was pretty dominant.
Yeah, he was wicked, man. So if we could get that Nico and not no-show Nico, we'd be great. We'd be great because no-show Nico is not the go, my bro. Noreira, let's move on to the forwards. We've got Toby Rudolph and Oregon Kufusi holding it down in the middle with Blake Brayley as the hooker. Then we've got Britton Nikora, one of the informed second rowers in the comp at the moment. He's partnered with Matua Wilton and Cameron McInnes. How do you say that out? Teague.
Teague.
Shit, is that just a Sieg without the S? Mother. Gazabak. And then I like this young bloke, hey, Daniel Atkinson. I like him. He's good, man. A good up and coming young bloke. Good haircut on him too. Like it. Jack Williams, he'd probably be the one I'd assume would come off and as Talakai moves to the bench to make way for Jesse. I'd assume Jack comes off. I don't know much about Jack, but he's just got a name that I'd remove from the lineup. Because up next you got Royce Hunt. Royce Hunt's great off the bench. Not a big fan of when he starts. I think he's got more impact off the bench against some tired forwards through the middle, and he can really take advantage of some big meters. And then rounding out with old 40-20, looks 40 is actually 20. It's Thomas Hazelton. Poor bloke went bald at the age of 14, unfortunately. Bro, everyone catches strays on this, man. Everyone catches strays. Look, now for me to sell the Sharks to you, I don't think I had to do a very difficult job. I think Sam did a lot of the selling for me. But I'm not 100% sold because we need a few things to work in our favor in order for the Sharks to get the job done. One is to get some offloads going, to get some second effort, because the Cowboys, they aren't known often for wrapping the ball up high. So if Sharks have some, support runners coming through the middle there, if Will Kennedy can, back up a Royce Hunt and he pops a cheeky offload through there, they get some extra meters through the middle and Cowboys will be on the back foot. But if we get that second half Cowboys defense from the Knights game, well, it'll be an arm wrestle. And I think in an arm wrestle, the Cowboys have the opportunity to win. I think in order for the Sharks to win, they're going to need to get out early and often. We're going to need a Mulitalo double. And I said this throughout most of the season. When Mulitalo scores, more often than not, he scores in bunches and they normally win. If Mulitalo doesn't score, then they sort of, lackluster and don't really get things going. We need Nico Hines to turn into him. I think he needs to control a lot of the play the ball. He needs to be orchestrating the team. He needs to be moving the boys around, setting the plays up. Even when it's a third tackle option, he needs to be calling for that ball, stretching the shape out wide. You need to start running 3-man. You need to start running twos. You need to start running some inside balls. You need to start orchestrating that, directing that. You are the Chris Paul of the moment. And this is your moment to shine. This is your moment to put all the naysayers to rest, because if you don't, you're going to get criticized. Like, this Sharks team has been underperforming all season. At the start of the year, they were on a high. They were winning all these momentum games. And then all of a sudden they fell off big time. And they've got the names to get the job done. But it's whether or not they can get clicking on offense and get the job done. Because we know their defense can stand up and withstand it. I definitely think they'll be looking to bounce back after last week's hiding. Fitzgibbons would have been grilling them, working on that defense, trying to maintain their shape. Once the Sharks lose their shape on offense, it's all downhill. We know their kick chase is fairly decent, and we know sort of coming off the line, they can press up. And when they get that momentum, they're hard to stop. But we just haven't really seen them get a bit of momentum and really hold that momentum. I think, what was it? The last one was round 27, eh? That was like a kind of a one-off. It wasn't, it's not been a consistent effort we've seen from the Sharks in late in. A lot of it has come down to that Nico curse, the no-show Nico. That's not a nickname you want to be having, right? I'd rather be king of the bench. I'd rather be the Paddy Mills of a team than a no-show Nico. So it's going to be hard work. I think for the Sharks, it's going to be neutralising Reece Robinson, scooting out of dummy half. If they can limit those meters out of there and make sure that they're square at marker, that'll be sweet. Don't fall for that Tom dummy Dearden. Just don't fall for it, mate. Don't fall for the Dearden dummy. It's not going. He's not passing. Just tackle him, and if he passes, trust your man. Trust your man on your inside. Trust your man on your outside. Just tackle Dearden. Don't fall for the dummy. The forwards, the Cowboys, I think, have the edge over the Sharks props. But I think the second row, the edge defenders, I think go the way of the Sharks. And in terms of the bench, I think overall the Sharks win that bench, their impact off the bench, especially if Talakai is coming off the bench and Rahman's starting. Because, like I said with Royce Hunt, Talakai, he's a wrecking ball off the bench as well. And then you got 40-20 and Daniel Atkinson towards the end of the game, getting in some fast meters out the ruck and stuff like that. He's a high effort, high energy player. Dude looks like he just is walking ADHD. He's all over the place. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. It's for the second to last Friday night game of the season. A late game. But I guess, had the Warriors made it, they would have had to put it at like 7 o'clock. If it was a home game for the Warriors, they would have had to. Would have been GG's in the chat. But look, I'm looking forward to this game. If the Sharks can figure out their offense, I think they get the job done here. Man. I'll go Sharks 1-12.
Nice, 1-12, you say. So just, I guess one last question is, who do you have winning? So Sam, do you have a score for your team, and what is it?
Do I have to pick the Cowboys to win?
You just pick whatever you want.
But the stats say Sharks 13+.
All right. Next time you have the first pick, go with the team you think is going to win, eh? Terrible. Shit. How do you have the first pick? Pick the Cowboys and pick them to lose, man. You should just pick the Sharks if you thought the Sharks were going to win. Jesus.
The stats say there's no way in hell the Cowboys win.
Hey, man, this could be the year.
You never know.
Still talking into the microphone like that.
No.
All right, then, fine. Do you want the stats?
No, I don't. Here we go. Moving to the TAB we go. All right, so looking at the TAB stats, yes, they do have the Sharks as favourite. They're paying $1.55 for the win. The Cowboys, $2.45. They have the line at 4.5. If you take the line for the Sharks minus 4.5, it's $1.98. If you take the Cowboys at plus 4.5, it's $1.83. Winning margins for the Sharks look like this. 1-12 is $2.90. 13 plus is $3.10. If you go with the Cowboys, it is 1 to 12 for $3.45. And the Cowboys 13 plus is $5.40. If anytime try scorer is your thing, leading those bets is of course 1, 2, 3 Kyle Fouts himself at $1.70, and he's tied with Ronaldo Mulitalo or Mr. Does Scores and Bunches. They're followed with Sione Katoa and Murray Talangi at $1.18 and $2.25 each. The best of the forwards, it looks like it is, where's he at? Nakora at $2.45. He's slightly ahead of Jeremiah Nanai at $2.50. For those that loves the first try score, as you know I do, the leader for that is Ronaldo Mulitalo at $8.25. And of course, it's Kyle Fouts at $8.75 for the Cowboys. I mean, this might be the most one-sided debate I've ever seen. Based on what was said, we're going to put our $10 on the Sharks to win this game. If you like it, get a combination. But for this one, I might just put $10 on the Sharks to win. 1 to 12, $2.90. Nice little return. It's not much, but it gets the ball rolling. Did you have any bets you're putting down, or are we saving it for later?
Save it for later.
Okay.
We'll just do the one big play and paydays.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have an individual bid for this one, and then I still have that. This one not bad.
Do you want to hear it?
Up
Be
to
quick.
you guys.
Be quick.
Yeah, go.
So I've taken an alternate points line. I've taken Cronulla minus 10.5, so to win 11 plus. Mulitalo first, second, or third try scorer. Kyle Fouts and Mulitalo 3 plus try scorer. 3 plus tries combined. That pays out $17. So chuck $10 on it, you get back $170.
Nice little bit there. Here we go to the last game of the week. It is, of course, at Allianz Stadium. Kickoff is at 9:50. We have the Roosters coming off that forward pass game. Well, that wasn't a forward pass, but wasn't. Against Panthers. Going off against the Manly Sea Eagles, who were the better team for 10 minutes and then come through to win, and they are through to the second round. So, because, I mean, Sam got first pick last time, so it's only right, Rawiri, that you get first pick. We're going to do this one a little bit differently, but who do you want, Rawiri?
The whānau know on this channel.
Yes, they do.
I have no idea who Manly is, nor do I know who their fans are. And everyone knows on this channel I have absolutely no love for the Sydney Roosters. That is why to give me the Sydney Roosters.
Oh, you heard the man. He's doing it. So the way we're going to do this one is slightly different to that first game, okay? You're both just going to do your starting 17. And then from that, we're going to break down certain parts that I want us to talk about. You'll go back and forth, so you'll get about a minute or 2 minutes to talk about your side. The other person will get to rebuttal, and then we'll just make our way through the game. Does that make sense?
All right, we're in. This is about to be bigger than the presidential election debates.
Let's go. Kick us off, Rawiri.
I'm pro Kamala, by the way. Sorry, Donald Trump. American fans, let me know who you want to see win your presidency. I mean, I just want to see someone else. Trump's already been president. Give another bro a chance. Anyway. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I'm still talking into the microphone. It just makes the aesthetic, right? So at fullback, we've got James Tedesco. Didn't make my Australian team nor my Origin teams, and wouldn't make my Roosters either. On the wings, we've got the ever reliable Tongan national Daniel Tupou. And on the other one, we got Cool Runnings, Dominic Young. He reminded me of Sanka from Cool Runnings. To Kiss My Egg. So, yeah, Sanka on the wing. Inside of those two, we've got Joseph Okuso Suali'i and Joseph Manu. 2 players could potentially be playing their last game in the NRL on Saturday night. In the halves, we've got Luke Carey and Sandon Smith. No, not Brandon Smith. His uncle, Sandon. On the forwards, we've got Koro's back. Ready to play about 3 minutes and get sent off again. It's Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. And Lindsay Collins is his prop mate. And at hooker, we've got Connor Watson, the ever reliable Connor Watson. In our second row, we've got Satili Tuponua. That eye, man. That eye's got an eye in there.
Yep.
Tuponua. Is he Tongan?
Yep, that's why he was in and out of the team, in the Tongan team.
I can see why you just call him Satili.
Yeah.
And then my favourite at the moment, I'm loving Big Angus. I got a lot of love for Big Angus. He's missing a finger. Do y'all know that? It caused him so much pain, he cut it off.
Jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's some advice for your relationship. And then holding it down at the lock is No Fahu White. However, there's an asterisk here right next to his name because V Rads, that's Victor Radley, is named on the reserve at number 22. So if coach reckons, well, then that probably brings, who do we reckon, Siua Wong or Nat Butcher's coming off?
You tell us, but if I had to pick, it's definitely Wong.
Yeah, but he what is he, just a hooker?
He is a second rower.
Oh, then Lada Bowl. No Fahu White, you go to 14, and V Rads, you come up into 13. Then on the bench, we got Big Spence. Big fan of Big Spence. He's just a mongrel, eh? He's a wrecking ball. He was half the reason we were competitive in that first game of Origin. We've got Nat Butcher. Bro, is his name Nathan or Natalie?
I generally think it might be Nat.
Just Nat.
It might be Nathaniel. But, yeah.
Or it could be Nathaniel, yeah.
Could be Nostradamus, for all we know. And rounding out the 17 is Terrell May. I think he's going to visit his brother in jail in a couple of weeks' time. So,
yes.
So apparently we're just never getting any of the mains, eh? Jesus.
No, man, we get it once a year. There's a month. But yeah, that's our Sydney Roosters, ladies and gentlemen. That is your squad.
Yeah, for Manly, it's 1 through 17 as it was last week. You got Turbo at the back, you got Tommy Talau, and you got Lehigh Hopewadi. They're on the wings. Tolly Kohler and Ruben Garrick back in the centres. Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry Evans are your halves partners. Paseka and Matt Lodge, they hold it together in the middle for the props. Lachlan Croker, he is your hooker. Olakawatu and Carl Lawton, they are the starting second row with Gerbo, Jake Travojevic as your lock. On the bench, they've got Burbo, Ben Travojevic, Josh Aloye, Ethan Pullymore, and Nathan Brown. Looking at the extended bench, I'd be very surprised if any of these guys came into the mix. So we're going to say that's their 1 through 17.
Nice. Both strong teams, obviously, to get this point. We do have key people missing. But when you look at these teams, right, you got superstars across the board, and they start at 1. The battle of the fullbacks. You have James Tedesco probably up there to win fullback of the year, and hopefully runner up to Jerome Hughesfield Daly M. He's going up against a maybe not 100% Tom Turbo, but I want you both to talk about this battle and the influence you think they will have on this game. So, Darwood, if you could talk about the guy you absolutely can't talk about. Sorry, didn't mean to do that to you, but just the way it turned out.
Yeah, look, in all honesty, James Tedesco is probably having one of his better seasons in recent years. I'm just pulling up the NRL stats. No, he actually has. And a lot of people are crediting it to the fact that he hasn't played Origin, so he's not as worn out as he has been in normal seasons. Because as an older statesman, what do they call that? An old guy, it's been tough on him, but he's dominating in almost most of the stats that you'd want to see him there or thereabouts. So he's averaging 1 try assist per game. He has 22 on the season. He's third in runs with 463. Jacob Kiwis leads that stat. He is second in run meters, again behind Jacob Kiwis, and he's on 4,597 with an average of 199 runs per game, which means he's more than likely to rack up about 200 meters in this game. Where else is he? He's also leading the league in tackle breaks with 158 with an average of 7 per game. And so, some of those stats alone, he's nowhere to be seen in the errors statistics, which is where you don't want to be seen when you've got run meters, when you've got line breaks, when you've got assists, try assists. Tedesco, I think he's found a role now within himself in his older age that he's still able to produce at a level that people would expect him to. Not as explosive or what's the word I'm looking for? He's not as agile as what he once was, but he's got that old head on him. We talked about Sean Johnson as he came into his later years. We grew up watching the electrifying Sean Johnson. Tedesco was very similar to like that element. He was quick, agile, electric. Step off the feet, draw, pass. Now he sort of views the game different. It almost comes to him in slow motion. I hate to admit this, I'm not a big fan. That's why he doesn't make my teams. But, he just sees the game in a different way than some of the other younger fullbacks. I compare him now to Reece Walsh. Like I've got Reece Walsh on my Broncos that I watch week in and week out. If he had the mindset that Tedesco currently has, the vision that Tedesco has, would probably be a lot more successful. Tedesco doesn't beat you now with his athletic abilities. He beats you with his mental strengths, his ability to read the game, his understanding of positional awareness. That's one thing that I think he has over the athleticness of Tom Trbojevic.
Nice. Thank you for that well thought out response. And yeah, so what do you think, Sam? What is your response to that? What do you think the influence of Tom Trbojevic will be for this team and how maybe he could get the edge over James Tedesco?
It's tough, right? I'm probably one of the biggest Teddy fans. And this doesn't help that Turbo's not even close to 100%. Like we saw it in the Dogs game. He's banged up, and he's been banged up all season. So like his stats still look pretty good, but like the whole thing is right is when he's healthy, he is genuinely, if not he's top 5 most influential players on his team. It's the whole thing is like how well can he deal with that pain in this game, because there are some really big bodies that are going to come at him and they are going to target the shit out of him. He's probably going to take the ball to the line a few times, dish it out and get a head in the back. They're going to give away the penalty to test that, to test the shoulder, see where he's at, because, man, he didn't look good. He didn't look good for a lot of that game. So it's a little bit worrying. I was really hoping you were going to take Manly, I can't lie.
Why would I take Manly?
Hey, man.
What do you think, like, even in his limited state, what do you think he brings to this team? And do you still think he can, one, be a positive impact for this team? Like, he may not be able to carry like he, normally can. He might not be as explosive as he is, but is there still things he can do to influence the game in a positive way for Manly? And if so, what do you think? What would that be?
Overall, it's his presence, because even though he's banged up, you still have to pay attention to him. You still have to account for where he is on the field, because he scored 17 tries in 19 games. He's got 17 tries. He's got 77 tackle breaks, so that's like 4 a game. He's like, even though he's not healthy, like he still has the ability to do all these things. It's just, I don't think he can do it as consistently, because at some point Spencer and Angus are going to get him. At some point Spencer and Angus are going to get him, and I don't know if he's going to be able to consistently take that punishment throughout a game.
Yeah.
But I think it's generally just his presence, and then Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry Evans are really going to have to step up and use him as a dummy more so than use him as an option out the back to where he's still able to get hit when he's making plays.
Yes, no, that's great insight there. And finally, you should speak about the halves, because that's where we're going to next, actually, with this breakdown. I want you both to talk about the roles of the halves and how you think they can either control the game or, I guess, put their best foot forward to let their team get the upper hand and win. So we're talking about the likes of Luke Keary and Sando Smith against Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry Evans. Might as well go to you, Dawidi.
Yeah, look, obviously the Roosters have the least experienced halves. I talked about the sort of outer statesman of Daly Cherry Evans in the Australian team. Um, he's not quite what he used to be, but similar to Tedesco, he's got that old head on him, and you can't beat experience sometimes, especially when it gets into an arm wrestle. We've seen that against the Bulldogs. With the Roosters, they got that hunger. I think the Roosters have missed out. Well, shit, every year since I think 2019, 2018, the Roosters have just not quite been able to get over the hump, and I think the boys are quite hungry to get there. I think the Seagulls are a bit banged up from last week's battle against the Bulldogs. I think Carey's got a strong head on him, and like we said, one would always have a great game without the other when it comes to him and Walker. And this is kind of Carey's last shot at it. And if he wants to sort of send his farewells on a high, he wants to get that Peyton Manning career into the sunset, him alongside Jared Wadia-Hargreaves, I think they're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. I don't know too much about Sandon Smith. I know he's a serviceable guy. He's in there for a reason. He does the mahi. He gets the treats. I think he plugs a hole, per se. So what I'm looking forward to most is how Carey and Tedesco's connection's going to really work alongside Connor Watson. I think the three of those, those three players are going to mesh well together to create magic. And let's take a quick look at some of Carey's statistics. Kez, as the kids call him. According to his nickname in his bio, he's kicking at a goal conversion rate of 42.9%, which is miserable. He's had 19 try assists, 10 line break assists, 14 offloads. He tackles really well for a half. He's at 86.4% on the season. With an average run meter of 66 runs per game, which is not bad for a half. So just know that he's going to try and get mobile, I think, and move that ball. And that's what he's going to have to do against this Manly squad is, shift the ball, get the forwards early ball, and then when you've got some good shape, spread it out wide and get it to Joey Manu or to Dom Young, booting it up high, utilizing your tall wings. So that kicking game's going to come in super handy.
Nice. Thank you for that quick little breakdown. Over to you, Sam, for let us know how you see your halves playing and how they could influence the game.
Probably the biggest thing is just like DCE's ability to control a game. His kicking game is going to be massive because I think he's got probably the best kicking game in out of all the halves. So his ability to really just pin back the Roosters, even though Teddy breaks tackles, Teddy gets a lot of run back moves. So I think it's going to be a lot more trying to keep the ball away from Teddy. With Luke Brooks, it's a lot of, I think if he just makes the easy play, like if it's not on, he just runs. If it's on, he gives the ball early rather than try to take it, 2 or 3 steps more than he needs to, and then make that play. It's just basically him just having a really simple game plan and knowing first he's got to look to run, and then he's just going to make really simple decisions around his game. Because if he tries to overplay his hand, I've said it many times at the Tigers, it goes wrong. And when it goes wrong, it goes majorly wrong. But yeah, I think really this is just going to revolve around how DCE can control the game, when DCE is potentially going to see those options to kick a 40-20, because he looks for it every single game. He loves to do it. So yeah, I think it's going to be that, and I think it's going to be when they get down there. It feels like Manly, because of the attack they do have and like the weapons they have, they more so look to score on almost like every play down the line, rather than they look to just build pressure and get that set get a goal line dropout. Like, they don't really look to do that all too much. I think that's really where DC needs to come in. He needs to just try fatigue mainly the Roosters like pack, because that pack is bloody good, and it's not necessarily to me, it's not necessarily as strong as what Manly have. So if they can make them defend, it might take a bit of sting out of their run, because if that pack gets on top, that pack stays on top. Meanwhile, Manly, it's a little more, how's Paseka doing? How's Nathan Brown doing? I think that's kind of the way that goes, where just DC just really needs to control. He needs to kick really well, and then just hope his kick chases on.
Good answer there. You're right? DCE's kicking game is absolutely next level. It's up there with the best of, not in the game, just all time. I want to go over one last key battle that I think might play a big hand in determining who wins this game, and that is the battle of the second rowers, in particular Angus Crichton against Ola Koatu. Now, I'm not too sure if they D each other up or if they're
No,
on
it doesn't look
opposite
like
sides
it.
of the field. It looks like this one they are opposite sides, eh?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Well, let's then talk about the impact that these two have on the game. Who do you think, in your mind, will have the better game of the two? So yeah, that's pretty much it. And how do you think they'll play? So again, we'll start with Dawidi.
I don't think it's going to come down to who's going to have the better game of the two. I think it's going to be similar to last week, how you've seen Olakau'atu and Kikau both have really great games in the same game together. I just think that Angus's play styles are a little bit different to Olakau'atu, both Origin teammates, but both very damaging in two totally different ways. And I think what Angus has up his sleeve that I don't think Olakau'atu does is Angus has better centres next to him that he'll be able to draw defences in, and he's got the ability to flick it out to an explosive centre either side. I'm not too sure who's his centre. It's either Swali or Manu, but I mean, either way, you've got a great centre inside of you that you can trust to, get some more run meters. Angus is probably the best second rower in the comp at the moment in terms of form this season. That contract year really, really wants that money. He really got it. So, look, Angus wants to finish the season on a high. Anything short of victory would be failure in his eyes. I'm just actually looking forward to seeing who does get the upper hand. I think Big Angus is going to be relied on a lot to get through a fair amount of work early in this game to get the Roosters on the front foot. Because if you get those, I mean, the Roosters definitely have the edge in terms of their forward pack as a whole. That includes the bench. We've got that X factor coming off the bench, and Spencer Leniu and Terrell May, both actual monsters through the middle. So the Sea Eagles forwards aren't going to get a break when Koro and Lindsay come off, because then you bring on the explosive Spencer and Terrell. He's got a bit of footwork to him that you don't quite expect from a prop, and he's just consistent, man. So yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting game, but I think for the Roosters, outside of Carey and Tedesco needing to fire up to get the attack on the front foot, I think it's going to be one through the forwards for the Roosters. They're going to rely on these big boys to get through a large amount of work. And, on the season, Angus has had, 7 line breaks, 8 line break assists. We'll say he's had, 8 tries. 3 were kind of gifted, so we'll take his 11 down to 8. 52 offloads on the year. He's an 89% tackle efficiency, so he doesn't miss too many tackles. He averages 124 run meters per game, and I'd expect this one he'd exceed the 124 mark, just because he's going to be hungry. He's going to be looking for work. He wants to get the one-ups on Manly. You never want to lose to a what is it, like they have that Northern Beach rivalry during the preseason that they talk about. So you never want to lose to one of the 3 beaches. That is the Sharks, the Seagulls, and the Roosters. The Roosters have Bondi. So yeah, he's a monster, and I think they're going to rely heavily on him to get the chocolates at the end of this game.
Nice. And Sam, talk to us about Olakau'atu and what he brings to the table and how he could influence this game.
Olakau'atu, it's interesting. I was really hoping we would get Angus and Olakau'atu on that edge. Partly just my thinking behind that was because obviously you said Radley at lock. Radley a lot of the season has played on the edge. It's been Angus and Radley on the edges. And I was thinking if they're going to bring Radley back and they don't put Angus on that edge, well, his shoulder's busted. And if you think that's going to hold up against Olakau'atu, he has a field day with that. So that's why part of me did think they might actually put Angus on that side, which I think that matchup would be...
Well, the only reason Victor's been playing in the second row is because they've had Connor Watson and that playing at lock. But they don't have that luxury.
No, the reason they put him there was to protect Sam Walker.
Yeah, they don't have Sam anymore.
Yeah, but they've got Sandon. And Sandon's not a good tackler. Sandon's not a good tackler. But no, I could see a world in which he comes back to the middles. Hopefully that way he doesn't have to do a lot of defending on that shoulder. Especially because I feel like Tupanua was actually really good. So I was a little bit mad. I was a little bit mad when the Dogs picked him up. But on Olakau'atu, like, the whole thing, right, is can he repeat what he did last week? Maybe be a bit better in the first half, because Kickout did run him in the first half. Like, Kickout was unreal. But I think if it's not Angus on that edge, I don't really see how they can hold him and limit his impact. Just the lines he runs, and he's running off DCE. And it's also the fact that if he gets onto the outside of Tupanua, that centre has to jam on him. That centre has to jam on him, and you see time again, in particular when it's Saab on the wing, that, man, they get a lot of tries down that wing. One, because of Saab's speed, but also because if you give them space, Garrick isn't... I don't want to say... Garrick is a willing passer. Garrick will give that one more pass to the wing and give him every opportunity. And, man, Lehigh had a really tough game last week, but he came through it. And he looked really good towards the back end of that game. So that was like trial by fire, and he had Kickout coming down on him. So, like, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that edge. And, yeah, if they're not going to put Angus on that edge, Olakau'atu might win them the game.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Look, I only got 2 more questions for you. The next one, we've talked about the teams and, key matchups that we could potentially decide the game. The next one I want to look at is that coming from a coach's perspective, right? Maybe give your input into this is, as the Roosters, like, where are you looking to attack Manly? Like, where do you think their weaknesses, where do you think you could attack them to kind of, I don't know, put your best foot forward to win the game? And it's the same but reverse question for you, Sam. So where is your best, like, where are you going to attack to win the game pretty much? Like, where do you think your advantage is, and how will you utilize that to get you to next week's game?
Look, man, it's going to come on our defense. We need good line speed coming off of defense. We need to hold them within their own 40 and get them to kick from behind the 50 in their own half. If we can do that, then our attack and our shape will be in good stead. You've got Tedesco, you've got Dom Young, Tupou back there to run it up. You'll have Manu picking up a few meters. So as long as we can keep the Seagulls on the back foot through the defense, I think offense should be able to run itself pretty easily. And line speed's going to be the way to do that. We've got, the bench is what's going to play that big part in that line speed. We see that in Origin, as soon as Spencer Leniu came on, that line speed in terms of defense and attack was ridiculous. So we just know that when he comes on, it's going to be instant offense. But yeah, it's looking to limit those damaging players. Olakawatu, Paseka, Lodge on a good day, Bullymore and Brown when they come in off the bench. They're pretty hard runners. Those white boys go hard, man. They don't care about CTE. They embrace it. They live for CTE. But I think what the Roosters have in spades is they got poly boys. And they got white boys coming off the bench. They got poly boys coming off the bench. Most teams are starting their poly boys and white boys coming off the bench. The Roosters, they got poly boys on the bench and on the starting field. So it's gonna be tough to come back from. And they're going to look to the edges. I think you're going to win the battle in the sky. You don't want to kick at Lehigh Hopoati. He stood up to the challenges last week. And he didn't fold not once. He stood 10 toes down and took every kick that came his way, bar I think one or two. And he got folded, but he never folded. He stood back up, played the ball, and played on. So I think the Seagulls would have taken a lot from that. You've got Tommy Taloa on the other wing, and he's pretty safe when it comes to those sort of things as well. So it's just going to be that kick chase and the line speed on defense. It's not really about who they're going to attack. On offense, it's just going to be kick chase and line speed. And to be honest, Joey Manu needs to step up. He needs to give a reason why Roosters fans, Kiwis fans are going to miss this guy because, the Roosters, I don't, he hasn't been as good. Like at the start of the year, he was on form. Then he kind of went into a little bit of a lull, still been consistent, but he hasn't been scintillating. He hasn't been, hot commodity. And it shows in our team of the week, man. We were his team of the week candidate almost every week. And then halfway through the season, he kind of just went missing. So, yeah, definitely need him to step up. But I think in terms of the Roosters' success in this game, it's going to have to come off some gritty defense and great line speed.
Thank you for that. And then, Sam, your response?
I think the key thing for Manly is going to be discipline. They have really bad moments where when they give away one, they give away a few. Roosters are the most penalised team in the competition, I think. If not that, I know they're top 3. So they give away a lot. So if you can limit yours and the Roosters are going to give away theirs, you're going to be in a pretty good chance to at least have a decent chunk of possession in the air. So I think the big thing is discipline. Because Manly's also, they get players sent. They get players sent a bit. So yeah, I think it's going to be that. And I think it's going to be they need Paseka. They need Paseka that came up 3 weeks ago, I think, against Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They need that Paseka. If they get Paseka, who started the game the last 2 weeks, that's not a great recipe for them to have success. But I think it's more so getting them into an arm wrestle because we saw it. The Dogs were much better than Manly for, you said 70. I think it was longer than that, but not much longer. But yeah, if they can keep the Roosters in the arm wrestle and they can not let the Roosters really get on top, then they have a really good chance because they have the best half in the game. They have all the attacking threat on that right side. It's just going to be just don't make the game easy for the Roosters, because if you're going to say, hey, you've got to go make Luke Keary and more importantly, you've got to go make Sand and Smith try win that game. I think Manly like where they're at. It's just going to be trying to limit what Teddy can do and then not giving them an easy out.
I like it, team. Oh, yes, go Rawiri.
Yeah, because if Manly, if the Roosters don't get their line speed defense, and Manly rush it to the Roosters, and the Roosters are waiting for Manly to come at them, same thing's going to happen to them that happened against the Raiders. That's why the Roosters failed in that game. They didn't get that line speed on defense.
Well, here we go. It's the last question of what I think was been a pretty good review, really, of both sides and, the key battles. It's just a simple one. Who wins? Like, do you have a prediction for the game? And this one you can go with, like, your gut feeling.
Yeah, look, I'm going Roosters. And when I say 13 plus, I'm not talking about a massive blowout. Like, if the Roosters are to win, they're going to win by 14 or 16 points. If they lose, it's because it was, and that's because Manly went 1-12, because it was an arm wrestle and Manly steal it at the end. But if the Roosters are to win, it's going to have to be 13 plus. You can't have a close game against Manly because they got Daly Cherry Evans. That old head know how to win.
I like it. And then for you, Sam.
Well, over the last 6 games, the average is 5 points. The Roosters win by 5 points, the average over the last 6 games. But they don't have Sam Walker. They don't have Brandon Smith. I'm pretty sure a bunch of those games, Manly didn't have Turbo. Like, even an injured Turbo, it's still the attention that you have to give him. So I'll be honest, in my betting, I copped out. I took either side to win by 12 and a half or less. Just because, because I think this will be a game of who gets the most moments. Because I look at it, I think it's a pretty even side, unless the Roosters middle gets over. If the Roosters middle just rolls Manly, then yeah, it's a comfortable win for them. But I don't see a pathway for Manly to have a big win. So I think more likely than not, it's either side wins by 12 and a half or less.
Okay, we'll take that cop out. Anyway, so to the TAB we go, and here are the lines for everyone. So the Roosters are the favourites, paying $1.55. Manly Seagulls are coming in at $2.45. The line for this game is the same as the last one at 4.5, and it's just $1.90 either way. Winning margins we go. If you got the Roosters 1-12, it is $2.90. And it's also $2.90 for 13 plus. For Manly, 1-12 is $3.50 and 13 plus is $5.75. If you like to put a cheeky $5 on anytime try scorer, Dominic Young is the favourite there with $1.60. He's followed closely by Tupou at $1.75. Actually, Roosters take up the top 3 spots with James Tedesco, the next favourite, at $2.02. Tom Trbojevic and Tommy Tarlo lead the way for Manly, and they're both paying $2.05. If you did want to put a cheeky fiver on first-time try scorer, again, it is Dom Young leading the way at $7.50. Tupou second at $8.75. Tedesco again at third, $10.50. And for Manly, it is Hopewadi and Trbojevic paying $11 each. Look, I think this is probably the more exciting game of the 2 games we have this weekend. It's a big one. It feels like it's a derby match almost. These 2 history and playing in finals. We had that final, the Sonny Bill one, I believe, where he won Clive Churchill. So they have history playing in big games, and they're both from big clubs who have great traditions of winning. Look, you both put forward a great case actually for both teams and why they would win those battles and who they think would come out on top. I'm honestly splitting hairs at you. I know the Roosters are favourite and they are playing at home. They did get smacked last week, and that might be working in their favour, knowing that they lost. And then you got Manly, who kind of just got the job done, but it's a new week. and the loss of Sam Walker and Brandon Smith is a big one. They do get Victor Radley back. I just think that with Turbo only being like 50-60%, it might be a bit too much with how good Teddy is going. And then with that forward pack, I think a lot of it will ride on DCE and Olakau'atu, and it might just be a bit too much to be able to do it in back-to-back weeks. So for that, I'm going to go with the Roosters to win this and give my $10 to them. But like you boys, I think it's going to be a close one too. I can't really split hairs. It might come down to like what Sam said of moments, really. And cometh the man, cometh the hour. You don't know, you might have another 60-meter try in the 75th minute that actually breaks hearts. But yeah. So yeah, team, that was like a new style. Before we'll give it a trial, of previewing this game. Seeing we only got 2-1. It was a bit of, a bit here, there. Again, growing pains like we're trying out with this podcast. There will be new segments, and hopefully as we do them more, they'll come a little bit smoother as we go along. But thank you for sticking it out. If you like that style where we break it down a little bit by little, just have two people debating us, let us know. How do you do that? Put a comment down in our chat. Give it a like, and while you're there, give it a like and give us a follow and subscribe, because it's going to help, all the way. You can do that on all the platforms we're on. Woody, what are the platforms we're on again? Because I always forget.
It's 99 Dreams NZ on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you can find us. Now, for our last segment of the show, we've got big plays and paydays. This week is brought to you by Steak. We're trying to get sponsored here, and steak.com just looks like the next best place for us to go. It's not as diverse in terms of NRL bets that you can place. They only really have head-to-heads, over and unders, and points. They don't have try scores and things like that, but it's something that we could work on. You might not get the big play or the payday, but it could definitely be sort of our head-to-head that we use, because they have a bunch of other sports in there. You ever want to bet on politics? Steak is the place to be. If you think Trump is going to win, Steak is where it's at. You ever want to bet on esports? You think Valorant is your favorite game and you want to see, I don't know, who plays Valorant? I don't know any super Valorant players, but hey, if you want to see Magic Mike take it out against Big Smoke, well, hell, Valorant, you can bet on Valorant. You can bet on handball, garlic football, futsal, Formula One, floorball. What is floorball? I don't know. Darts, cycling, cross-country, cricket, chess, and they also have a casino, and you can use Bitcoin and other foreign currency. So that's over at stake.com. Throwing a Hail Mary, we might try and get some affiliate marketing through them. So that could be our place to go, because it doesn't look like TAB coming to the party, and they've had enough free advertising as it is. So we're no longer calling it the TAB, big plays on paydays.
Okay,
It is now stake.com. It is stake. What do we call it?
We'll work on.
Yeah, it's a work on, but this is it. It's make or break with stake. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's make or break.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, what?
So they don't do try scorers?
No, they don't. It's okay though. It's okay. Because we're going to couple in some other things with this. We're going to couple in some other things. So if anyone else has a big play or payday, I'm currently trying to just work out this stake site as well. Did you have one, Sam?
I do.
We'll do our one last try scorers one on the other place, and then we'll try and do make or break with stake. We'll still be sponsored by Steak.
Yeah, so if you go to the other one, my big plays and paydays, I've taken the Sharks -4.5. That's the line there. So my other bet, I had them at 10.5. I want like an extra tries, basically. Just a bit more safety. So I've taken the Sharks at -4.5. I have taken Nico 10+ points. I think he bounces back, because one thing that you didn't touch on, right? He rips the Cowboys apart. He rips them apart. Like it's ridiculous what they do to them. So I'm taking Nico 10+ points. I've also then got Felt and Mulitalo combined to score 2+ tries, with Teague Wilton to score. So that's one multi in the Sharks game. My other multi that I'm pairing with that is Dom Young, first, second, or third try scorer. And this was a little bit where my head was thinking at the time was that the Roosters were going to win. So I've gone with Tupanua and Carey to score. If you put all that together, your odds come out to be 940. To once I chuck $10 on that, you win back 9,400.
Nice.
Choo.
That's clean. That's clean.
I do have a bet. Kind of, it's one of those ones that are not allowed. But I wish
From
that
the
they
other-
were. Yeah. Anyway, so this is my one again. A lot of it has just different bets rolled into one. So for the first game, I like a first try scorer. It's kind of been my thing lately. So why would we break that now? We've gone with Kyle Falk because, of course. And then I have 2 anytime try scores for that same game. That is Nanai and Mulitalo. And I have gone with the Sharks to win. That's paying $87. So chuck $10 on that. $870 coming your way. For the Roosters game, or for the second game, I've got Dom Young as the first try scorer. Anytime try scores, I've gone with Hopewadi and Tedesco, and I've got the Roosters winning that. That comes out to $54. Again, chuck a cheeky 10 on that. If you combine the two, which you're not allowed, but the odds are at $4,806, so $10 on that. Whānau, you'll be just south of $50,000, and that is kind of my bet for the week. TAB, you should just let me do it. That's why you don't sponsor this one, but who knows? Maybe our new sponsor could do it.
How come you can't multi that?
I don't know. I just remembered I would
2 different games, multiple multis in 2 different games can't do it.
No, you can.
How? Never been
Literally,
able to?
that's why 2 can get the odds, is because you can bet on it.
No.
You can, because I've been doing it.
Well, have you?
Yeah.
Is it because the payout limit? There's a payout limit.
There's a payout limit, but like you can still place the bet. It just depends. Yeah, if it goes over the payout limit, then you can't place the bet.
Oh well, it's my bet anyway, Whānau.
Not that we're taking up for that other betting company.
Yeah, look. Where is mine? Mine from the other one, I've got Felt first try scorer. Then we've got Nikora anytime try scorer. Sharks to win by 1-12. We've got Felt 2 or more, Mulitalo 2 or more, and Hines to score more than 6 points. 1470 pays out $9,500. And over on the other place, I'm just working on one at the moment. Let's go with. We've got the point range in the Sharks Queensland game is 42 to 48 points, and then we're looking at. Let's go points range again. Let's go. Roosters win by 8-14. That's what I said. Let's put. Oh shit! How much? It's all in Bitcoin, so.
Oh.
I don't know. This is probably about. Shit, it's hard to say. Well, the payout is 15.84 for Sharks to win 42 to 48, Roosters to win 8-14. Look, we're just getting the hang of this new site. We can probably couple it with other events around all in one weekend, which we'll probably do in the future. But head over to stake.com. That's where your future lies. But don't forget, Whānau, if you do have a gambling addiction or a gambling problem, don't indulge yourself, and do feel free to call the gambling helpline. It's 0800, get help. Um, that about wraps us up, Itiwi. That was episode what, 64, 65,
Ooh,
63.
getting up
We're
there.
up there. We're up there. We're up there, ladies and gentlemen. We're up there. It's getting big, man. It's getting big. But you know what else is getting big? Not my wallet, my debt, my gambling debt. Hey man, I had lots of fun in this episode. It was a good episode. We could potentially bring back the debate in the regular season, but we just do it for one game because you know how there's always normally an odd game here or there. We just do it for one game a week, so it'll just
True
be
that.
we'll just alternate.
Yes.
So we can still bring it back, but we'll just to save on time because I know it'll take us at least a millennium to get through all 8 games. Is it 8, 9 games, 10 games in a weekend? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you did like that format, please do let us know down below with a simple like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about joining the practice run whānau. What do we call it? The practice squad. Yeah. I never remember the name because I never say the freaking line. But that's it from me. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Thursday. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy yourself. Go outside. Touch grass. Summer's almost ending for you in America, and summer's almost on its way here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So, no matter where you are in the world, get outside, touch grass, listen to the podcast, share it with your friends, share an AirPod on the bus, in a taxi, in an Uber. Share it with your Uber driver. They've got nothing else to do but sit in an Uber. Get them to listen to all 64 episodes while they take drunks around. That'd be the perfect thing, eh? Let's like listen to the practice one, just hearing the practice squad. But anyway, that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rawuri, done for the week. Thank you all. Take care, and I'll pass it over to Sam and Sue for the final word.
Cheers for listening. Yeah,
Just where your outros are as energetic as your intros.
this is wild, Yeah, cheers for listening. Share it around, or what Ross said. Yeah, man. I haven't got a lot today. I can't lie. Yeah, cheers for listening. Over to 2.
As always, we'd love to give a shout out to our fans and followers, both near and far. We really do appreciate the support. It is getting down to crunch time. Whānau. We literally have 3 weeks left of the NRL season. Our teams aren't even in it, so now we kind of just get to watch as fans. We get to just enjoy the game for what it is. We just hope that they're good games and close games and they leave us on the edge of our seat wanting more. But really, we're just going to leave it at that. Quick little outro for me. And we will see you on Tuesday. We will be doing our review of the show. I believe my GM mode will be back where it's my turn, eh?
It's your turn. You got the Melbourne Storm.
I have the Melbourne Storm. So if you want to see what I did with that team, even though quite a few of the players have left, tune in. But until then, if no one else got anything to say, I don't. We will see you on Tuesday. Chur to the chur. Mā te wā.